You know the feeling. Stepping into a sauna is supposed to be the ultimate relaxation. You're there to sweat out all your stress. But what happens when you walk out and bam, a throbbing headache? It makes no sense, right? It's a total contradiction. Okay, let's dive in and solve this sauna headache paradox together.
Yeah, it just doesn't add up, does it? You've just had this amazing, relaxing experience. You're supposed to feel incredible, totally zen, but instead your head is absolutely pounding. So how can something designed to make you feel so good end up causing so much pain? Well, as it turns out, there are some very clear reasons why this happens.
All right, let's start our investigation with culprit number 1. And honestly, this is the big one, the most common offender by a long shot. It's probably what you're already thinking. Simple dehydration. This is the main villain in our story today.
So what are we really talking about when we say dehydration? I mean, we all know the term, but it's basically when your body loses so much fluid that it just can't do its job properly anymore. And a hot sauna, well, it's an absolute expert at speeding up that whole process.
And here is the thing you absolutely have to remember. If you wait until you actually feel thirsty, you're already behind. Seriously, that feeling of thirst is your body's alarm bell, which means you're already in the early stages of dehydration. And inside a sauna, that whole process is on fast forward.
Okay, now check this out, because this is the really fascinating part. It's a chain reaction, right? First, the intense heat makes you sweat a lot. As you lose all that essential fluid, your brain tissue literally shrinks. I'm not kidding. It physically contracts, pulling away from the inside of your skull. That pulling action tugs on the sensitive nerves connecting them, and boom, that's your headache. It's a direct physical process happening inside your head.
But here's the thing. It's not just about what you're losing inside the sauna. What you do right after you get out is just as critical. So let's move on to our next major culprit, your cool-down routine. This is all about its direct effect on your blood pressure. Think of it like this. You basically have two paths you can take after a sauna. If you cool down the wrong way, your blood pressure, which got all out of whack from the heat, just stays high, and that can lead straight to a headache. But if you do it the right way, your body gets the signal to regulate itself. Your blood pressure comes back to normal, and you leave feeling refreshed and fantastic. So how do you do it right? Okay, first, shower off all that sweat with cool water. And here's a pro tip. Start with your feet, then your legs, and work your way up. Let your body adjust. If there's a plunge pool, even better. But here is the one step that so many people miss, and it is absolutely crucial. You have to cool your head. Submerge it completely. Just remember this, a cool body with a hot head is a perfect recipe for a headache. Now, beyond hydration and cooling down, there are a few special cases we need to talk about. Not all headaches are the same, and not everyone reacts to heat the same way. So let's look at how stress and even different types of headaches can play a role here.
This is such a wild concept. If you're someone who lives a really high-stress life, the mandatory relaxation of a sauna can actually trigger a headache. It's almost like your body is so used to running on stress hormones that when they're suddenly gone, you get a kind of withdrawal. The relaxation itself becomes a shock to your system.
And the type of headache you're prone to really matters. For your standard tension headache, the forced relaxation of a sauna can actually be amazing, even helping to prevent them over time. But for migraine sufferers, it's a completely different story. A sauna can be a major trigger. Now, this doesn't mean you have to avoid them forever, but it does mean you have to be incredibly strict with the rules. Rest well and cool down perfectly. No exceptions.
You know, even the type of heat can make a difference. A classic dry finish sauna makes it really easy for your sweat to evaporate, and that's the main way your body cools itself down. But then you've got humid heat, like in a Turkish hammam or steam room. The air is already so saturated with water that your sweat just sits there, it can't evaporate, which traps heat in your body, and that can drive up your blood pressure.
Okay, so we've identified the culprits. We've looked at the special cases. Now for the best part. Let's put all this knowledge together into a simple, actionable game plan to make sure your next sauna visit is 100% headache-free.
Here it is, your simple checklist for success. First, hydrate. Drink 1 or 2 glasses of water before you even step inside. Second, cool down. Follow the steps we talked about, and please don't forget your head. Third, rest. Take at least a 30-minute break between sessions. Fourth, listen to your body, especially if you know you get migraines. And finally, when you're all done, rehydrate. Drink more water. It's really that simple.
So there you have it. It's not some big mystery after all. By understanding dehydration, blood pressure, and your own body, you can turn the sauna back into exactly what it's supposed to be, a purely relaxing therapeutic experience. So the only question left is, are you ready to enjoy it completely pain-free?